Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Justin from Alto Music, and today we're going to build a synthesizer. More specifically, we're going to build the new Mavis from Moog. It's a build-it-yourself analog synthesizer from the people who brought you the Mother 32 and the D-Fam and the Grandmother and all those classic synthesizers. Before we dive in, just want to remind you guys, subscribe to our channel, give this video a like, and you can even leave a comment saying, hey, and I like synthesizers, or I don't know, you could tell us something about yourself that no one else knows, or not. But when you do subscribe to our channel, you get notified about video content before anyone else, because we typically post it to YouTube before anyone else. It's pretty cool how the internet works. Anyway, let's dive in. With the release of the Mavis, Moog is promising a complete analog Moog synthesizer for a good budget, for a good price. And with a promise like that, there's a lot of skepticism as to what this actually sounds like, or can they pull it off. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put the thing together, we're going to unbox it, we're going to plug it in, we're going to power it up, and we're going to see if they pulled it off. And if they did, you can leave a comment on this video. In a previous video about the Moog Workstat, some more enlightened synthesizer enthusiasts left some comments saying how it's not actually a build it yourself because you're not picking the circuits and the components from the factory and soldering it and putting all the inputs and outputs together. Listen, just stop. We're gonna have fun, we're gonna put together a synthesizer, and we're gonna see what it sounds like at the end. All right, so we got the whole thing assembled. We got an output running. Just note that the output for this is going to be this top left patch here. It's got a little headphone icon, VCA next to that. That is where you're going to run all your audio out of. The power is up here, audio up here. And if you want to run to speakers, you can just get an adapter. That's kind of how we're running it right now, just so we can monitor it back and forth. But let's start patching. Well, let me play how it sounds on this setting. This is just a classic buzzsaw setting. Pretty weird, pretty cool, but let's hear what it sounds like when we patch through to this buzzsaw setting. So we are all patched up now, and let's just see how different it sounds and what this patch bay can do for you. Ooh. Yeah. If we mess with the LFO a little bit, let's just... And let's mess with the level here a little bit. It's pretty cool. You know, and as it's laid out really well, especially with these sheets here, it kind of gives you just a really good baseline to work off of. And they come with about 5 of them. We can run through another one here, but I just want to take the second to just kind of show, you know, each section of this. You have the oscillator section here, which is really responsive. You can hear, let me bring the scale up. Let me bring this. It's really cool. The filter section's also really responsive as well. You know, you got the classic cutoff sound here. It's really cool. Let's do one more setting. We're gonna get patched up and we'll come right back. All right, and we are back, and we're gonna just go ahead and adjust this to the settings that it says here for foldable kick drum. It's a pretty cool sounding one. Let's see how cool it actually sounds and how weird we can get with this one. Now, like I said, what I like about these patch notes, sometimes with these types of synthesizers, if you're not familiar with them, myself, I'm not actually super handy with synthesizers. So this gives me a good baseline, sort of like a home base to return to. If you ever get a little too lost in the sauce, you know, you let your filters go too out of whack, it just gives you a little, you know, a little spot to call home on your synthesizer. So this is what it sounds like unpatched with just the settings that, you know, it tells you to put for the oscillator and the filter and the LFO. Oh yeah. That's cool. I think it's going to sound really cool once we get patched in. So let's do that real quick. And we're back. We're all patched up here. Let's see what this sounds like now. So it's even more subtle, even more minimal and muted. This would be really cool if you wanted to like automate it for like a kick drum sound. Let's turn the attenuator up a little bit though and see what. Yeah, sort of. It all kind of sounds like the same note here. It sounds more like a kick right in that sweet spot where they have it programmed to. And let me just see if I can bring the. Resonance up a little bit. Yeah, I really like the sound a lot. Gives you a really cool, if you're into sampling, you can dial in some really cool drum sounds just from the synth here without, you know, without having to go digging. You can create your own samples and kind of introduces it to that way. And like I said, if you ever get too lost in the sauce, you know, you mess up everything, go around different shapes and wavelengths. So it keeps that same note, but it lets you kind of just, you know, mess around with it. And with the VCA mode switch over here, that allows it, that is cutting off the signal right now, so it only plays. But if we go, you can hear it's doing a, you know, its own signal. It's a signal just going straight through. So bring that up. And then, and I like this, I like actually using this to, if you really want to dial in a sound, you can just sort of let it run and hear how the different oscillators affect, you know, different parts of the setting here. Turn that attenuator. It's a lot more subtle right now. There you go. So we've unboxed this thing and we've looked at all the goodies that it comes with. We've put it together with our bare hands, blue collar. We plugged it in and we ran through some of the patch sheets. And I think after doing that, Moog nailed it. They've made a synthesizer that's accessible. And I think that's important, that you get to see how the inner workings of it are and, you know, exactly how it comes together. Obviously, it's not the complete build-it-yourself experience, but you're getting to really connect with the instrument in a way that sort of demystifies synthesis and analog synthesis. And you know, I know personally, if I had had something like this when I was first getting into synthesizers, it would actually probably lead me even more down that wormhole of, you know, researching and really understanding the instrument, because it just makes it accessible for the new user. And the fact that you can put it in a Euro rack and you can add it to other modular synthesis units, it really lets you grow with it. It's something that you buy now and it stays with you forever. And honestly, it's just a really cool thing to have. It's, you know, good to get away from a screen when you're making music every now and then. And this is about as far away from the screen as you can get. It's minimal. You can put it together with your bare hands. And the best part, it sounds great. That's the most important part. It's solid, it sounds great, and it feels great. But what do you think of it? Do you think Moog nailed it with this? Are you going to be picking one up? Have you built a synthesizer from the ground up and you have some comment you would like to leave about it? Go ahead. But if this is something you're thinking of ordering, something you want to add to your existing gear, or you want to just dive into the world of analog synthesis head first, head over to altomusic.com and pick one of these up today. We'll see you next time.